So after using their first 3 picks on offensive players, 2 wide receivers, 1 offensive lineman, the Packers have finally selected a defensive player, edge rusher Barryn Sorrell from Texas at pick number 124. So I thought edge was the biggest need coming into this draft. I think looking at the Packers' depth at edge, they have some guys that are pretty solid, but when you look at the overall numbers when it came to pressure rate last year, they're close to around 20th last year in pressure rate. They just lacked a lot of consistency there, which is why I thought it was one of the biggest needs. You need to consistently be able to get pressure on the quarterback. And so I thought we would have seen an edge rusher drafted before this, but I'm happy now after the first 3 rounds to see the Packers target the edge rusher position with Barryn Sorrell. Let me read an excerpt here from Dane Brugler of The Athletic, his draft guide, The Beast. He says this about Sorrell. A 3-year starter at Texas, Sorrell lined up primarily on the edge, 5/6 technique, and defensive coordinator Pete Kwiatkowski's front. A dependable player over his 40 starts in Austin, he showed gradual improvements each season and didn't receive enough credit in 2024 for his impact on Texas's 3rd-ranked defense. As a pass rusher, Sorrell flashes bully hands and an aggressive snatch attack, which became his signature move, locking out and pulling the balance of blockers away from them. Led Texas with 49 pressures in 2024, despite finishing 4th on the team in sacks. He is relentless in the run game, but he will lose contain against cutback runs and needs to play with better gear down to eliminate missed tackles in pursuit. Overall, Sorrell passes the eye test, and the foundation of his game is power, which sets up different ways for him to win, although his average short area athleticism might limit the frequency of those wins against NFL blockers. His makeup and motor will give him a chance to carve out a role in a 4-3 scheme. And also to add, he is 6'3", 256 pounds. And so I think when you get to round 4, these are guys that have a chance to still be solid NFL players. We see time and time again, guys drafted round 4 be pretty important pieces on the Packers, like Romeo Doubs, like Zach Tom there, who has become one of the better tackles in the NFL. Of course, when you do get to round 4, there are some question marks. There's a reason these guys in round 4 didn't go in the first 3 rounds. But Sorrell seems like a guy that can come in and be a depth piece here on the edge for the Packers. If we look at the Packers' edge room right now, Rashawn Gary, J.J. Enagbare, Lucas Van Ness, Brenton Cox. You also got Aaron Mosby as well. A couple other guys there a little bit deeper on the depth chart. But we've heard Brian Gutekunst say that he really likes what the Packers have on the defensive line. And, I do wonder if bringing in a new defensive line coach will really change things here for the Packers. And I think obviously the biggest hope for this D-line and the edge rushers specifically is that Lucas Van Ness can really take a big jump heading into year 3. Gutekunst sounds somewhat hopeful. I think, looking at how early Lucas Van Ness went in round 1, if he can start playing at that level, the Packers' defensive line will be really, really good. So there are some questions there for me on the defensive line. I don't think that Sorrell just, automatically fixes these problems. I assume he'll be more of a depth guy here, being drafted in round 4. But at least now the Packers have some more competition there and another guy who could potentially develop into a solid player. If you want more Packers draft content, I'll be covering the rest of the draft. So if you want breakdowns on all those players, feel free to turn on the notifications so you don't miss any Packers content. And I'll see you guys next time.